Hey, good evening, everyone. Hope you are having a sensational Sunday evening and enjoying the fruits of the weekend, wherever you are, wherever you're based. Hey, look, do us a favor as you're jumping online, make sure you say hi in the chat box comments. Feel free to love and to share. It'd be great to know where you guys are from. I mean, the last live I did, there was people tuning in from all around the world. We had people in Australia, in Eastern European countries. We had a couple of friends of mine in South America. And yeah, it's just really, really great. So as you're jumping on, hey, Lavetta, hey, Becky, make sure you're saying hi. If you're in the UK, let me know whereabouts in the UK you are from. Hey, look, I think many of you will know I did a live last week, and after being away in Spain, kind of recharging. Hey, Valentina, good evening, Denise. Hey, Faye, hope you are cool. Almost like recharging. I stumbled into the network marketing industry some 19 years ago. It's been very much more than a business. It's become a lifestyle. And I really kind of embraced this mindset and mentality of personal development and personal growth. And some of you will know that I have published free books. I've offered free books. I have coaching programs that have been massively successful globally. I also made a decision to really focus on what's become my extended family in the network marketing industry and remains my number one passion, purpose, obviously outside my love and my family, etc. Good evening. But yeah, look, my mission is really very, very simple. Hey, Sam, hope you are super cool. My mission is really, really simple. And I have this interest and this purpose to have influence. And I guess, we often hear, isn't it, what is your legacy? What is it? What's your mission? Now, in business, I have a mission to coach, mentor, and train 50 plus individuals to build an income that supersedes £170,000 a year. Now, that's a little bit crazy. But alongside that, I have other passions. I have my Passion to Succeed page. It's a group that's going to be launching very, very soon that will have an abundance of training in there. Training from mindset-related stuff, maybe some skill-based stuff, but things that have very much enabled me to live the dreams I have and work for the dreams I have. So I'm going to be going live quite regularly, and I'm not sure where you're connecting with me. We're actually streaming across a few platforms today. You may be on my, my Facebook connections, on my Facebook profile, which I'm going to stream, not all the time, but I'm sometimes going to stream here. We've got the Passion to Succeed page, and we're also streaming live onto our YouTube channel. So, hey, Gary, hope you are really, really well. I'm very grateful that you loved and your review for the Elastic Attitude book was absolutely fantastic. So, hey, look, what I'm going to do this evening, the idea is I want to share some thoughts with you, maybe a way of thinking to unleash the potential really in the possibilities that lie before you, within you, and around you. And from every adversity comes the seed of equal or greater benefit. So what I want to ask you to do, hey Natalie, hope you're super cool. What I want to ask you guys to do, if you're happy to do so, feel free to make sure you're saying hi. Let me know where you're from. If you've got any questions as I'm streaming this short live, probably only going to be, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, could be longer for those of you that know me. But feel free to share the love. And I think, we have a global responsibility now to be able to use these platforms to have a positive influence on other people. Now, this evening, maybe the story I'm going to share and maybe even the mindset and the way of thinking I'm going to share, because I think it's really, really relevant right now, probably more than ever before. I remember going to the gym with my brother many, many, many years ago, and there was this quote above the treadmills, and it said, "The extra miles between the years." And I really want to talk about how we can shift our whole environment and make our world a better place through the way that we think. And, I'm not going to be talking to you about joining the network marketing industry. I don't want to talk to you about, coming and, being a business partner with me. It's nothing to do with that. I actually want to talk to you about how you can just shift the way you think. You'll live a more abundant lifestyle. you'll live a more fruitful lifestyle. And I believe you'll live happier, you'll live healthier, and therefore you will live wealthier. So feel free to share. You may find that this could impact you, and therefore it could potentially impact other people as well. I think right now, environment is absolutely everything. And I've been really lucky, as I'm sure many of you have. Many of you may not have been as lucky, the environment that you grew up in. But when we reach that age of personal power, I guess the age of 18 is a good example, when we're almost kind of given the rights to choose, to vote, and that sort of thing. And I think when we reach that age, we've got to then take full responsibility for our environment, because actually up to the age of 18, it's very much, more often than not always in our hands. But once we hit that age of 18, our environment, our future is based upon how we think, what we decide, and how we act. And I think right now, we've had a crazy year in 2020. I think no one believed or even envisaged what this year would be, how it would turn out. I think everyone come into 2020, that year of vision. I know for me, when I think back of growing up with this kind of mindset of 2020 vision, you've got perfect clarity, right? And I think I came into this year talking about 2020 vision, about it being the perfect year to realize your goals, dreams, and ambitions, being the perfect year to start something new that's going to give you clarity, confidence, and purpose to turn all your goals, dreams, and ambitions into a reality. And obviously everything changed, but do you know what? I still remain as optimistic. I still remain as focused. And, I know it's been a really, really tough year for many, but I think from adversity comes opportunity. And this is so very, very true. And you all know this. I think here's the thing. When you're in the shit, excuse my language, it's very difficult to see the logical way out. And this is where it's good to maybe have a mentor or a coach or somebody that you can really entrust on, a friend, family member that you can believe in and trust, that's going to give you the clear advice that doesn't have the association of the feelings of the moment, right? So I think having a coach and a mentor is really, really beneficial, because sometimes they see what you are unable to see when you're clouded by the clouds of doubt or the clouds of fear. And I think right now, there's more uncertainty in the world than ever before. I feel lucky, I feel grateful that actually for me, I have more certainty than ever before. And I have more clarity. I have a stronger vision. I have more belief in what I'm able to do to influence other people. And I think in the gratitude I have for the industry I'm in, the gratitude I have for the skills I've learned to be able to build a business online, the gratitude I have for actually the mindset that I've developed to think right. Because it's not what happens to us, it's how we respond that delivers our future. Show me your habits and it'll unveil your future. And I read a book called Sumo. I mentioned this the other night, actually. And there's a little formula, and it's called E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals your outcome. So it's not what happens to us, it's how we respond. And actually, the easiest way I can kind of share this as a story. As a young lad, my patience levels were very low. And I'm not proud of this by any stretch of the imagination. But if somebody pissed me off, excuse my language, I'd just punch them. And that's not big, it's not clever. I'm not proud to share that with you. But that was because I reacted rather than responded. And I think many people, in the world that we live in, we can sometimes, the event that comes to us, we can sometimes, be in that negativity where we react. When people attack us, we attack back. When people disrespect us, we can sometimes be disrespectful back. And that's the easiest way that I can explain it. And that was probably me, I don't know, 19, 20, 21, 22, maybe even 23. I actually remember being in Malaysia, and I was reacting still. I actually never hit anyone, but I was very close to, because My personal growth, and I'm not saying this to be clever, I'm not saying this because I'm proud, because actually I'm not. Actually, my personal growth since in the way I've fed my mind and how I've changed as a person, and here's something for you to all be fully aware of. How we change is how we succeed. Okay, guys, if you're, by the way, if you're just jumping on, make sure you're hashtagging replay. But how we change is how we succeed. And for me, now I've learned to respond rather than react. And sometimes, even when you're hurt, even when there's that pain, even when somebody attacks you, it's more powerful to have the personal power to be controlled and to respond accordingly. So event plus response equals your outcome in every situation in life. It's not what happens to us, it's how we choose to act. Now, here's the thought process that you will be aware of. The choices we make and the actions we take in the past have led us right here today. So therefore, the choices we make and the actions we take from this day on are what are fundamentally going to create our future and our environment. And environment is absolutely everything. So anyway, I digress, as many of you know I often do. Hope you're cool. Hey, Carol. Natalie, so excited to receive it. I'm guessing that is Elastic Attitude. Guys, if you've read Elastic Attitude, pop a review in. If you haven't read it, where have you been? You know, this Elastic Attitude Pro, I don't even know why we're talking about this now. I had a book somewhere. Got one book here. I had 1,000 copies originally. They went, Amazon went crazy as well. God knows how many copies we sold, not really measurable. But the great thing is to know that there's an influence. Well, not as it is measurable, I just haven't been measuring it. But if you've read the book, put a little review in, maybe a comment. If you haven't read the book, go and grab yourself a copy. And I actually started reading it again today. And you might be thinking, what are you reading your own book for? And it's just because so many people have been saying really great things about it. And I'm like, is it really that good? I'm going to go and start reading it again. And it's interesting. It's very easy to read because I wrote it. Crazy, isn't it? You know, really bizarre. I was reading it, the introduction this morning, and I'm like, this is quite cool to read. And then I realized probably because it's my words. Anyway, beside the by, crazy thoughts. So back to you guys, back to the moment, back to right now. I think that the key is we're in this world of uncertainty. There's a world of fear. And, you know, more and more people, I guess, have had really tough times, maybe redundancy, lost their job. You know, I've got some really close friends that are struggling at the moment. And I say this candidly, I guess, because they need to make a change to how they're thinking in order to influence how they're acting. Because if you keep, here's a sign of madness. If you keep doing the same things, you're going to end up getting the same results. And so many people want change in their life, but they don't make the change. And I think it was Gandhi that was famous for saying, you've got to be the change you seek in the world, right? So here's the fascinating thing. If we change our choices, we change our thinking, we change our actions. So for me, I wanted to talk about fear. I wanted to talk about the fear of the unknown. And I wanted really to share this with you. Because you've got to seek opportunity. Where attention goes, energy flows. And some of you have heard me talk about this before, but it makes the hairs on my arms stand up because I believe this with a passion. Because how we think will dictate everything we do. But as an 18-plus-year-old, we get the opportunity to choose how we think. And environment is everything. Now, you're either changing by accident or you're changing on purpose. And I've been talking about this for years now. And it's this, you know, a lot of people are empowered into action either by inspiration or desperation. Well, you're either you're either changing on purpose or you're changing by accident. We are a sum of what we consume. What we consume, we become. And we know that, you know, if you go back to that, you know, that test where someone was eating McDonald's for 30 days and it nearly killed them because they become a hamburger, right? So we know what we eat, what we consume, we become, but also what we consume here, we become, what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're being told. And this is where trying to get yourself into an empowering environment. If you're told you're amazing, you'll start to believe it. If you're told you're useless, you'll start to believe it. And this is why I disagree with where people say men can't multitask. Well, actually, no one has the right to tell any man or woman anything that they can't do or they're not capable of doing, because everything that somebody's ever told a woman can't do or a man can't do, actually, do you know what? A man or a woman's gone and proved them wrong. So actually, we need to start listening and consuming the right kind of information, because you all have this inner power, this personal power to choose, to do, and to act. Now, you know, I want to talk about, I want to share a little story. I used to smoke a lot. I had this ability, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story, because actually when we were on holiday recently in Spain, as soon as we got there and I had a glass of wine, my brain wanted to have a cigarette. Bizarre, right? Because that was a habit, and I'll tell you this in a minute. And I haven't smoked, right, for over a year. But actually, I gave up smoking in 2005 because I took the personal power after attending an Anthony Robbins event. And I remember leaving that event, and again, not proud of this little story. I screwed up 20 cigarettes and threw them out the window as I was driving down the motorway. I know, littering, didn't mean to, but it was a statement that I was like, don't need this anymore. And that statement, that me taking that personal power to say enough is enough, and I made a decision to stop smoking for the benefit of my well-being, my health, and my future. And I never found it difficult to stop smoking because I made the choice that enough was enough. And then when I was living in Spain, I started smoking socially when I was having a drink. But I could literally then go to Spain on holiday for a week, smoke, come back and stop smoking, and have no problem whatsoever. Never put on any weight. I don't think I did. Was never grumpy. Maybe some people might say different. But what I'm trying to get at, when I went back on holiday and I have no interest in smoking, have no desire to smoke, dislike the smell, dislike the taste, dislike the thought. There's nothing about it that makes me want to smoke. But isn't it funny that our life is based on our habits? Isn't it not funny, but isn't it interesting, even fascinating, that as soon as I had a glass of wine when I was in Spain recently, my brain almost wanted to have a cigarette. But it was there. I didn't want to have a cigarette. I never once thought about sparking a cigarette up, but it was there because it was a habit of the past. Fascinating, that, isn't it? So we do have this inner power, and this is what I was just saying, a really random story, this inner power to act and to choose to do anything we truly please. And when you want to succeed in anything in life, whether it's stopping smoking, whether it's getting fit, whether it's, you know, having a beautiful relationship, whether it's building a business, whether it's learning a new language, when you really, 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 really want to do something, you can. Because you're empowered to do it because it's emotionally congruent to you. And I'll talk about some emotional congruency maybe on another live, because it's really, really close to my heart. But you have this ability to do absolutely anything your heart desires. And it's that same philosophy. When you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you will succeed. Because we all smoke in Spain. Hope you're well, Sarah, and the kids are great. Emmy, you are lit off, and hope you've got a glass of Rioja in your hand. Okay, so look, feel free to share the love, but I want to talk to you something about what we focus on, because actually, you know, for me, failures equal success, and the more you fail, the stronger you're becoming to be worth the success you desire. And you know, you've got to be worth it. And I remember my mentor, Rob, telling me many years ago, stop chasing a check, start chasing personal development, and the check will chase you. And this was really based upon the income. And if you think every industry in the world, you know, I'm not sure who's online now from a profession perspective, but I look at one of my cousins, Nikki, well, a few of my cousins actually are really highly educated. My niece, Mir, is the geek of the family. Now, she's lovely, but she's really highly educated, studying her PhD as we speak. I'm just really, really proud of her. But obviously, the more you learn in a professional environment, the more you become worth, and therefore, the more you can contribute to your marketplace, which means you're rewarded financially for what you're giving. So it's about contribution value, and therefore you will be rewarded accordingly. And for me, it's all about contribution and a value. You know, the more I can give, the more I can share. Because actually, the things I want to share with you, and I don't say this to impress you or impress upon you, but to impress you, sorry, but to impress upon you. The things I want to share with you have actually enabled me to lead a pretty cool life. And I'm picking up the keys to a new house next week. And someone's like, "You get another house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember when I come back from traveling to move back in with mum and dad, and my sole desire was to earn a couple of grand a month." And now I'm like speaking to a mortgage broker who happens to be a really good friend of mine that I trust implicitly, Jack. If you ever want a recommendation, this is awesome for mortgages, whether it be buy-to-let or residential. The guy's phenomenal. But that said, yeah, I was even planning, like I even got the keys and planning on the next purchase. So I share this with you because if it's helped me, surely it can help you too. Because here's the thing: mirroring is the biggest form of excellence in creating the biggest form of creating and duplicating human excellence. The power of mirroring, copying, monkey see, monkey do kind of vibe. Right, let's get to the point. Okay, we're 21 minutes in, and it's almost got this song, 21 seconds to go. But look, when you really, really want something, you can achieve absolutely anything. And it reminds me of that song, "Tell me what you want, what you really, really want." I really shouldn't be singing to you guys on a live. You'll never come on another one again. So I want to share something with you, because actually the ups and downs of life are present in all we do. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. But you need to have an emotional congruency with what's truly important to you. What is it you're passionate about? What is it that is important to you? And I want to inspire you all, before you go to bed tonight, think about what you want to do tomorrow. Create a to-do list so you're living on purpose and you're not living by accident. Too many people in the world get up and react to the day that presents themselves to them. Too many people get up in the morning and literally go through the day reacting to whatever happens, what's on the news, what's said, what the boss says, or people react to the day, maybe even respond to the day. What I want to empower you guys to do is to get up and live your day with passion and purpose. And here's a little philosophy I want to share with you. A lot of people sometimes focus on the depths of despair. We've got a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear in the world at the moment. But when you focus on uncertainty, when you focus on fear, you're giving it attention and your energy, and you're going to simply attract more of it. When you focus on loss, you attract more loss. When you focus on having no money, you attract more of the no money. The universe will give you exactly what you ask for. Whether you say you don't want it or you do want it, it's about what you're thinking about. So if you're thinking, "I don't want this to happen," here is a silly, silly little scenario. Don't think of a giant pink elephant. You've all just thought of a giant pink elephant, right? So it's a silly scenario, a silly thought, but actually, when you don't want something, you're thinking about what you don't want. And the human brain and your DNA is designed to give you what you think about, because actually, unconsciously, your mind will find solutions to your thoughts. I want you to think about this. Unconsciously, your mind will find solutions to your thoughts. And this is why we talk about goal setting. This is why we talk about visualization. This is why we say dream big, set big, audacious goals, because you are designed to find solutions to realize what you're thinking about. So Mother Nature actually affirms this, confirms this more than you can possibly imagine. So what I want to advise you to do, stop listening to the crap on the news. Stop reading the negative media. Get yourself into an environment. Go and buy my book. Read 10 pages of that in the morning. Go and buy some other book. Read 10 pages of it. Download Audible. Get something going into your mind. Something really, really positive. And Mother Nature is a real prime example of actually the ups and downs of life are part of life. But here's the fascinating thing. Whether you focus on the depths of despair or the world of success and living healthily and wealthy, if you focus on the depths of despair, the ups and downs of life will take you there. If you focus on love, if you focus on contribution, if you focus on abundance, The ups and downs of life will take you there. Where attention goes, energy flows. Let me explain how relevant Mother Nature is. Just have a little think about this at the moment. So consider this for a moment. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. The sun comes up, the sun comes down. Okay, the sun comes up, the sun comes down. Imagine the oceans of the world. I know not the Mediterranean, but imagine the seas and the oceans of the world. The tide comes in, comes out, goes out. I'm doing that. My actions are crap tonight. The tide goes out, the tide comes in. The tide goes out, it comes in, goes in, out, up and down. Think of the seasons of life. The seasons come, the seasons go. The seasons come, the seasons go. The ups and downs of life, the ups and downs of Mother Nature are relevant. So the roller coaster is something to enjoy. The good days and the bad days, the failures and the successes, the uncertainty and the fear. It's all part of strengthening your character. It's all part of strengthening weaknesses. From weakness comes strength. From failure comes success. Imagine now for a minute how your heart expands and retracts. It expands, it retracts. Everything is built upon the ups and downs of nature. If you focus on the depths of despair, the ups and downs of life will take you there. If you focus on elation, success, and abundance, the ups and downs of life will take you there too. So I want to empower you to focus on your greatest life. I want to empower you to focus on your goals, dreams, and ambitions. Yes, I know we're living in this crazy world at the moment, but you can develop certainty between the 6 inches between your ears first, gaining clarity to then go and find a way to turn your dreams, goals, and ambitions into a reality. So I hope you're having a sensational Sunday evening. That's all I wanted to share with you this evening. What we think about, we bring about most of the time, because unconsciously, your body is so flipping powerful, it will find solutions to what you're thinking about. So what you're thinking about most of the time can naturally, you're going to find a way to make that happen. So be careful what you think about, because it might just come true. Have an amazing evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. Feel free to share the love. If you want me to talk about anything in particular, feel free to drop me a message. I'm going to be doing some regular lives. I've got an idea of the stuff that I want to share. There's a fantastic group that I'm going to be launching when it's done, because I'm fitting things into pockets of time of my passion around my family, my passion around my network marketing business, which is fundamentally my extended family. So I'm fitting it in, but this group is going to be game changing. It's going to have some training in there. It's going to have a 7-day accelerating your network marketing success training. There's some other stuff going in there. It'd be really, really super cool. So look, have a fantastic evening and feel free to reach out and continue to share the love, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.